Greetings YouTube, Kevlar Chicken here, and today I'm gonna be starting with my fixed blade knife reviews because this is part of what's left of my collection. As I said, it's not that big, but I will try to make a review for each and every item. Now, the best thing about this is that I actually enjoy fixed blade knives quite a lot, and I only have 3 of them, but they're all like tactical. So this is the Smith&Wesson Search and Rescue Tanto blade. I will leave the specifics down in the description below, but let's start with the very basics. So it comes with this sheath here that you can actually remove this part of it, and it comes with a little gift basically, and that is this little pouch here that contains, you can take it off if you want to, which is nice. It's a very small sharpening stone, and it's just diamond dust covered, but it's actually very good. I've tried it. You can get a decent edge that will do the work with this pretty quickly, and you can get the rough spots out. It won't be perfectly hair shaving sharp, but for just outdoor use, and you don't need a perfectly sharp knife that can split a hair in half all the time. This is actually good enough, and you can remove it. You can see here, this is Velcro, and here you have standard belt clip Velcro, so you can put it on your belt. There's also this here. I actually appreciate the sheath very much. It's not like super good, but you do have the versatility and the sharpening stone, which is, it's small, but it does the work. I tried it. Now, obviously, if you don't want it, you can just do it like this. And let's get to the main bread and butter, which is the knife. So sheath is this, plus this, and the stone inside. Oh, this is basically what you're getting. All 3 of these, and you can choose how to carry it. Now, I did remake the blade. You can see on one end it's like doesn't go that deep, and here I tried to remove the secondary bevel, but I got tired because I was doing it by hand and it took forever, and this is already sharp enough for me, at least for now. Not good for throwing. You can see the dirt here. Right before the video I tried it as a throwing knife. It can stick, but it's way too, I don't know, blade heavy. It's not balanced. You can see it's pretty thick. Overall, I would say it's a pretty good knife. I did chop down like 3 very there was a place that needed a bit of 3 small wild trees about this thick, and you're not supposed to do that with a knife. You should just get a machete. And the only thing that happened is this thing is loose. You can see it just wiggles a bit here. So I don't think there was any permanent damage. I think I just need to get a new pin. But overall, Smith&Wesson, they're known for guns, not so much for knives. So I would not recommend this for bushcraft. It's not the best one, but if you want to just use it as a normal knife, since it's pretty thick, it will do the job. But in more extreme scenarios, I would give it at most a 5 out of 10. For general use, I would give it a 6. And just LARPing. I did resharpen it after chopping down those things with everything except the tip. I don't want to deal with that. It's made too thick and I don't have machines. It's gonna take a while on whetstones. So let's do the standard, you know, A4 printer paper test. So yeah, you can see it cuts it pretty well. Okay, that one was my fault. This is after me giving it a resharpening though, like the factory edge, it's like, it can't really cut paper, like at all. And it is pretty thick, so it separates the paper, but then it goes to the, no, it's just thick. It's not gonna be that, it's gonna be hard to make this great at cutting, you know, but overall for cutting other things, you know, paper is like not always a good test for the general use, so to speak. And it took me a surprisingly small amount of time to resharpen this after, you know, basically chopping down a small tree with it. And there's no real damage to the edge itself, even though you can see I almost mirror polished this side. And now it's like those Japanese knives that are like, you know, 70% angle on one side and like only 30% the way. But now I'm just lazy. Maybe I'll do the other side and then it'll be a beast chopper, but I'm worried that it'll get like way too thin and it might start chipping more easily. So I'll put the characteristics down in the description below, plus the price. But overall, you know, the main things you would want to know is, you know, the blade steel, the weight, and the length, at least of the blade or the overall. So I will tell you exactly how, excuse me, I will tell you those things right now. So the dimensions are 10.5 inches overall length, or 26.7 centimeters. The blade length is 6 inches or 15.3 centimeters, and the weight is 7.9 ounces. Didn't find how much that is in grams, but it's actually surprisingly light for how thick it is. I'll put my finger here just so you can see. It does taper off a little bit towards the tip. So overall, this is still a pretty durable knife, and it has the guard. It's made for combat, I think. Not I think, but it is a tactical, you know, like military style knife with a guard and everything. But I think it's mostly best to use this just for, you know, LARPing and just, you know, enjoying your collection. But if you want to use it for bushcraft, you can. It's just not made for it, you know. You're gonna struggle a bit, you're gonna waste some time. Just get a dedicated bushcraft knife. But if this is the only thing you have, it's still sturdy enough to do the job. It's just not very good at the jobs that a bushcraft knife needs to do. Throwing, it's not a good throwing knife, 2 out of 10. It is durable, it will withstand the impact, but it's way too terribly balanced for that. Okay, so the blade steel is, I'll list down the exact, you know, formula down below. It's 7CR MOV black, which is black oxide high carbon stainless steel, and it has a black rubberized aluminum handle, tactical black. Mine is pretty heavily used, that's why there's dirt here, or rust a little bit. You know, yours will, obviously it will come out of the box way better, but I like to review my things after I use them so you get a better idea. The steel and the edge retention is actually surprisingly good. Like I cut down like a small soft wood tree with this. It's still surprisingly sharp. Like I can actively see that. It's not, no, the hair, the arm hair shaving test, it's not, I'm not gonna do it because I want to have at least some hair left on my arms, but it cuts my arm hair. And it only took like a few strokes on the rough stone and a few on the 2000 grit one, and then like a very thin, I have a fine honing rod, just like 10 to 20 strokes on each side, you know, just to remove the burr. And it's, you know, hair shaving sharp, not facial hair, but you know, arm hair, which is, you know, it's good enough. Like you can get the point. It's not perfect, but it will cut. So yeah, this is a bit more of a ranty video, but overall I would give this a 6 out of 10.